Sounds like Aaron is literally too cool for school. Dances, that is.
Well, I mean, he probably has a restraining order keeping him 300 feet from within any school building.
Hey, Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there. You just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, the newbie, the greenhorn, I don't know, Leif, what do we call the Season 2 Gossip Girl newbie on?
I think it comes out to if you know a little something about a thing called whining.
Well, put me in a dress for all to see, and let's go ahead and get started.
Sounds good.
So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been watching Gossip Girl since it first came out in 2007, and I'm diving in for the first time. And together, we're your dynamic duo, bringing you all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic TV series.
That's right. Each week, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the show, one episode at a time. We're going to be analyzing all the hidden parallels, obscure references, and of course, the couture catastrophes. And we're also going to take a look at some stories from fandom and some behind-the-scenes gossip.
And since we're all about inclusivity here at the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is always a seat for you at the Non-Judging Breakfast table. So go ahead and grab your mimosa, a cup of coffee, or some Chuck's special medicine, and let's get this show going.
Okay. Before we get into the episode, we got a little fan interaction here.
Yes.
Got our first 5-star review.
Very
or actually, not first 5-star. This is our first actual review. We had a few other 5 stars, but they didn't leave an actual review.
Yeah.
This one was from Monica LPM, who wrote, "I love this duo. So fun to listen to their breakdown of Gossip Girl. They have such a great dynamic."
Thank you very much, Monica.
Yes, thank you, Monica.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And I'm curious as to whether that's Monica, a former student of mine that I haven't seen in 20-some years, which is awesome. I guess it would be 18 years since
Write in and let us know.
Yeah, talk to us.
Also, NJ Flood wrote about episode 202 specifically. Gossip Girl outfits, you guys chose the best. Here's the worst. Chuck at the cafe wearing a long sleeve button down shirt tucked into shorts and flip-flops. I would have to punch him in the throat.
I remember that. That's when he was talking to Marcus.
Yes. Or no, that's when he was walking down the street with Nate as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while.
That was awful.
Also, some more cast news. Since we last recorded, the photos came out from both Jessica Zohr's and Ed Westwick's wedding.
Yeah.
Not to each other.
Not yet, to two other people. I know there were some cast members in attendance for Jessica's, right?
Yes, so Chase was at Jessica's. She married former NHL player Brad Richardson, and Ed Westwick married Amy Jackson, who's British but acts in mostly Indian films.
Okay.
And Kelly Rutherford was there.
I was going to say, I thought I heard Kelly Rutherford was going to his wedding. So
she lives in Monaco.
Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
Because her kids live in France.
Yeah. Big fan.
Also, Jessica's wedding was Nina Dobrev. Vampire Diaries.
Okay.
They're best friends.
Oh, I don't know. That's another one I need to watch still. I voiced my hesitation on that because I feel like I'm going to watch it wanting Buffy, and I know that it's not going to be. I guess I need to watch.
I'll say the writing isn't as good, but the production value is way, way better.
I mean, the bar was not set high, especially like season 1 Buffy.
And some of the acting is better.
Yeah,
some is the same.
Yeah, I mean, but not all of them will measure up to Michelle Trachtenberg. Who could?
Well, I keep getting into fights with the Gossip Girl fandom because people should say she's a great actress.
No, she did Dawn pretty well because that's what she does apparently.
So we are here to talk about season 2, episode 12, A Wonderful Lie. Original air date December 1st, 2008. So it was right around that holiday season.
Yeah.
Of course, the title is based on It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart.
Right. which I only recently saw for the first time because my Jewish wife made me watch this iconic Christmas film.
Hard to miss back when there's only like 12 channels. Yeah.
It was in black and white, and young Steve had no time for that, and except for my TV in my room, which was a black and white TV because it was the old family TV. Moved into the playroom, and then I got the playroom, so I inherited the black and white TV. No idea which Destro I was watching on G.I. Joe each week, the silver or the gold head.
We go back to the Vulture recap. While it was billed as the holiday event for high school seniors, the Snowflake Ball did not feel as festive, as lively, or as crucial as the Gossip Girl big events of the past. The decor, of course, was flawless, thanks to Lily. The sound, thanks to Rufus, sublime. Blair and Chuck bantered. The Mean Girls cackled. And everyone made little dance motions in their ice violet gowns. But the guests didn't seem to be having fun, and neither were we. Something was off. Everyone was preoccupied. The characters, yes, but also the cameramen, who at one point lost their sense of purpose and drifted away, taking meaningful shots of Fuzzy Serena with a focused Dan in the background, Fuzzy Dan with a focused Serena in the background, and at one point homed in on a handful of extras who, quite frankly, had no business representing actual Manhattanites. Did anyone else see that couple tongue kissing? It was worse than November rain. But some well-drawn characters and funny dialogues warmed up what otherwise might have left us cold. And anyway, next week, Bart officially dies, and Chuck does something that was spiteful that causes Rufus to wear a pullover. We can't wait.
Yeah. And yeah, I wasn't sure about the Bart thing, but I kind of guessed.
Yeah, I mean, even back in the day, the previews showed the funeral.
Yeah, and I saw, like, after I watched the first time, I saw the...
Even I told you not to look at it.
No, I didn't see it before I watched. I watched it, but then to watch it that second time, I had to go in. And it was, and when I went into HBO Max, it was set up as that's the next episode with that frame right there.
Yeah.
So like there was like no way of not.
Yeah.
But I mean, going into it, the reason I texted you and said, "Is this the Christmas one?" is because I was being so hyper careful not to look that I didn't want to skip ahead by accident.
So this episode was written by Robbie Hull. He's back for his second episode of the season. His previous credit was for episode 4 of The X-Files, which is the episode I'm just editing right now. So that was the one where Dan went on the date with Amanda, who was Chuck's plant.
Yeah, okay. Yes, with the hair. And
it was an okay episode, but yeah, she was not the greatest actress. It was a good episode, but yeah, she was a bad actress.
She was not good, but the rest of it, because that's the one where Serena shuns Dan
at the end. Yeah.
The choreography in that scene was so cool.
Patrick R. Norris is back directing. His previous credits include Bad News Blair, High Society, then the episode after the one we just talked about, The Serena Also Rises, which was the fashion show episode.
Yeah,
the first fashion show episode of the season. There's been 2 so far.
Yeah.
This was the big official Fashion Week fashion show.
Right. And that was actually the episode where I felt like they found their feet again. I felt like I guess it was a little earlier. Those first 2 episodes were so off the regular vibe of Gossip Girl.
And I think it all came down to being in the Hamptons. That was a big part of it.
Yeah.
Also settling it. Stephanie Savage wrote that one episode. It was not great.
Yeah. But once it settled into New York and yeah, the episode that Stephanie Savage wrote wasn't great. But that was the first one back in New York, right?
Yeah.
That's the one that we just released. The one that Robin.
Yeah. So it's like the one where they're coming back to New York. Yeah. So they start out in the Hamptons and they end up with the strawberries. And, the infamous strawberry episode.
The strawberry.
So we move into Act 1, Winter in New York, a Gossip Girl checklist to surviving the cold, a cashmere stole for ice skating at Woolman Rink, Jacques Torre hot chocolate for window shopping the holiday displays, and the perfect date to the senior Snowflake charity ball. In the school courtyard, Blair and Serena are arguing about the Snowflake Ball, when Chuck interrupts and sits down without permission. Chuck shoots down a series of potential dates for Blair.
I thought this was cute. The Chuck and Blair, and Chuck just knowing Blair and Blair just knowing Chuck. And you see the whole plot of their storyline unfolding right here. Once again, I find that Gossip Girl took a very predictable cliche plot line and made it fun. Because there was nothing groundbreaking about this, the chair storyline in this, but it was still fun. I still liked seeing them interact in their banter.
Serena gets up when she sees Dan. She chases him down to the hall to show him the gift she got for Aaron based on Dan's advice. However, it sounds like Aaron is literally too cool for school. Dances, that is.
Well, I mean, he probably has a restraining order keeping him 300 feet from within any school building. Also, Robin is the one that caught the Anna Wintour joke. It's like Anna Karenina, but with Anna Wintour. And so
she is a designer.
Yeah.
I feel like Dan admitting that he's actually likes this society thing, just signaling that maybe they're going to get back together.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kind of getting ready to be back together with her.
And where he said the thing about like, the best memories that I have had have been at these events. And like, he edits the part out that the best memories that he's had has been at these events with her, but also there's always drama at these events that you're involved in, but okay.
So Jenny is doing penance at the loft when Vanessa shows up. Jenny is still wondering why Nate blew her off. Vanessa just plays dumb. Speak of the devil. Look who's calling on V's phone. Fuck you, Vanessa.
Yeah, my note is Vanessa sucks. I'm going to also say that I felt like this was some of Jessica's best work in this episode. I think that she really acted her ass off. This is also her biggest...
No shade to Jessica.
Yeah, no shade to her in this, but Vanessa turns up the suckage here. And it's just like, yeah, what an asshole.
So, Vanessa crosses paths with Penelope, who has shown up to the loft looking to commission a custom Jenny Humphrey dress.
Yeah.
Good for Jenny.
Yeah, and she plays it perfectly. Like you hate me. She's like, yeah, but. And she's like, well, okay, I'm expensive. You're going to have to pay me.
And Penelope will like that, so you bet you should.
Yeah, you ought to be.
Rufus and Lily are reconnecting after last week. Rufus volunteers his knowledge of sound systems to help Lily with preparation for the ball.
Yeah.
Didn't he already do this in season 1?
Yeah. Well, he did this for
the Ivy party.
Yeah, for the Ivy.
Yeah.
But that was Rufus Unplugged. This is Rufus LLC sound system.
Well, this is he's not actually performing this way. He's just doing the sound.
Yeah.
Lily has been avoiding Bart, who conveniently pulls up into his limo. Rufus steps aside for them to have the conversation.
No heads up, Rufus. Like not a, oh, yo, Bart's here. He's like, oh, I'm out. Deuces. Hey, don't look now, but turn around.
Well, I mean, that whole thing, the conversation was basically him saying, you have to have a conversation with him.
Yeah. And then when he pulls up, he's like, sometime, I don't know when.
I mean, what's she going to do? Like, run away?
I'm just saying, if I were Lily, I would have appreciated that. Oh, he's here. Instead of turning around.
Serena and Dan show up at the gallery where they overhear Aaron's ex-girlfriend, Lexi, snarking over the art and Serena.
Lexi is... First of all,
a little much.
Yeah, she's written terribly. Like she's just.
I think she's written exactly how she's supposed to be written.
Okay, that's fair.
She's supposed to be a little much.
Yeah, but yeah, she's a little much. She's a lot.
For one episode character, I thought she was actually kind of perfect.
I just didn't really love this storyline. I thought the whole "we're gonna bang" storyline was weird.
Why couldn't she just vote?
Why couldn't she just vote? That was fantastic.
Nate and Vanessa are making out in the open when Nate asks Vanessa to the Snowflake Ball. Vanessa is hesitant because she is afraid Jenny will find out. However, Nate is all about what's in front of him right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some rando snaps a photo of them making out, and a little too late, Vanessa points out that they're in Gossip Girl country.
Yeah, Vanessa sucks. You know that you're being shitty. Like, at this point, you know. And because, like, she's even like, what if Jenny did know? And he's like, well, I wouldn't really care. Okay, then maybe now you tell him.
Also, you're not going to like this, but fuck Nate for being hypocritical as always. But because he's so muted, he skates by. But he said, oh, I don't want to get between two friends.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's never happened before.
Yeah.
I felt like how the whole series started.
Well, I mean, maybe that's why he doesn't want to get between two friends, because he got between two friends.
No, but he says, I would never do that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he says.
True. He does. Again, I would never do that again.
Yeah. Back at the loft, Penelope is still obsessed with Nate as well, is trying to get Jenny to spill the tea. However, Gossip Girl is first to them off the mark and gets a blast and they both get a blast with a photo of Nate and Vanessa snogging.
Yeah. Penelope is so thirsty, especially for Nate, but she's just been, the minions have just been thirsty.
Yeah, all season.
Yeah.
And again, I have to say, how big of bitches are they? They can't get boyfriends at all.
Yeah. Well, although Hazel got one in this episode specifically to work the lights for her, so they can, but it's not the people that they would be interested in because they're such shitty people. The AV guy working the spotlight is a fucking chore.
Sorry, ladies. For those of you hoping to find Nate Archibald under your tree, well, looks like he's already picked up his mistletoe mate. Into Act 2. Back outside the school, Lily and Bart are talking. Bart claims he has already fired Andrew Tyler and will do anything Lily wants to save the marriage. Big words, Bart. If only I believed you. Well, he doesn't either.
Yeah. And so when he's saying all of this, instantly, and I know that this comes up later, but my first watch, my thought was, what about the sanatorium report that he asked for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The thing about the sanatorium. Mr. Bass, nobody says that anymore. But, we knew that he asked for that information. Although later we do see that he may have rescinded that.
At the gallery, Aaron and Serena are discussing Lexi. Meanwhile, Dan and Lexi are flirting in the other room. Serena agrees to give Lexi a chance if Aaron takes her to the dance, to which he reluctantly agrees. Gotta bribe your boyfriend to take you on a date.
Yeah, well, I mean, he probably doesn't really feel comfortable going back to high schools anymore.
Well, if you're gonna date a high school girl, you gotta go fucking high school events.
Yeah, I know. And her emotional manipulation of that situation, which I'm not blaming Serena. She's the child here.
Yeah.
I'm blaming the adult who is like, oh, I'm too cool to go to your high school dance. It's because he's not in high school. But yeah, also, I just thought that Lexi was so fucking obnoxious. Is this where she's talking about the coffee to Dan? It's like, oh yeah, do you have this rare coffee from Indonesia that no one else would have? No,
that's actually really that was a thing.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't.
Especially around that time. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. I was not aware.
It's really expensive, but it's
okay.
A high-end coffee.
Because I like coffee. I did not know that was an actual thing. I thought it was some kind of bullshit. But still, it's some kind of bullshit. It felt like I'm going to order something knowing you don't have it so I can shame your little shop for not having it. That's how that moment felt.
It's definitely a hipster thing.
Yeah.
And but that's why she's kind of perfect. They're all, all of them are kind of perfect.
Yeah, it's too perfect.
Dan and Lexi walk in, and Lexi announces they're all going to hang out together. Have these people never watched a sitcom? There's no way this can possibly end well.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Vanessa shows up the loft like nothing's wrong, while Jenny is fighting back tears and lays into Vanessa for letting Jenny humiliate herself all week. Vanessa announces that she's going to accept Nate's invitation to the ball. She walked away all high and mighty, but little Jay was staring daggers into her back.
Yeah, I thought both of them were great here.
Yeah.
I felt like this was a really great interaction.
It was very well acted.
Yeah, very well acted scene. You really got both these, and both of them have been done shitty things. And what Jenny did wasn't that shitty, right? She kissed a guy without telling Vanessa about it. It was shitty to do to your friend, but like, it could have been a lot shittier. Vanessa took the fucking letter and let both of these
Vanessa dated him for like 2 weeks, and they haven't been talking for a month.
Well, yeah, and it was like she kissed her ex, her pseudo ex.
Yeah.
And without even knowing why they broke up or why they split. Jenny really didn't do much here. And meanwhile, Vanessa literally got between the two of them and lied to both of them by taking that letter.
Yeah.
What I did keep in the back of my head throughout all of this, well, I'll get to that later. It was just like, they both had these it was a great argument. It was great tension and great conflict and really well acted by both the actors.
Chuck is waiting at Blair's piano as she arrives home. They make another bet, this time to see which one can choose a better date for the other. They treat Dorota like property of commiserate value with a limo.
Yeah. Yeah, they bet Dorota.
Not a good look.
Not a good look. I'm also curious as to whether or not Ed was really playing the piano, because I know that he does do music, so I wonder if he can actually play the piano.
It didn't look like his hands were moving.
No, but you also only saw from here up, which on the light melody he's playing, you may not see a whole lot.
I doubt he was playing.
I do too.
But in canon, Chuck apparently plays piano.
Yeah, which I do love that, which it's such a Chuck thing to have in his back pocket. Do we ever see him do that again?
Not that I'm aware of. That piano is always there at Blair's.
Yeah, it's been there the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other things might happen on that piano.
Oh, I can imagine. They're all gonna fuck on that piano. Someone is, or they all are. Maybe all at the same time. I don't know. Bunch of blankets on the piano.
Yeah. We shift back to the tried and true TV trope of the double date. Lexi is brash, Dan is shy and naive, Serena is snarky, and Aaron is his usual slimy self.
This whole thing is such a trope. But it's also the whole oh yeah, she sleeps with guys on the first date. Why are you telling your girlfriend this? Why are you telling your girlfriend?
Because he's manipulating her into sleeping with him.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah. There's
exactly
that.
What he's fucking doing.
There is that, which...
And it worked. Or at least it seemed like it was going to work. Anyways.
Yeah, he is so fucking disgusting. I didn't fully pick up on that. Now that you mention it, it's oh yeah. That's so...
Because what was her immediate reaction? Let's finally do it tonight.
Yeah. And it wasn't even an immediate reaction, because she went home and talked to Blair, and then so it is just planting these seeds without any actual. It's fucking grooming.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Not good.
No.
We get a quick scene of Bart shitting on Chuck. So more poor Chuck.
Yeah, and once again, great to everyone but his kid.
It's so obvious where they're trying to make us feel bad for Chuck. It's
yeah. Whenever they do, yeah. And I do have to say here, Bart. I get why Bart's upset.
Yeah,
it is Chuck's fault that all of this.
Again.
Yeah, Chuck fucked up big time and fucked up his marriage, and
Chuck, by revealing the truth.
Yes, but to Bart, Chuck has taken away the woman he loves for the second time.
Yes.
So there's a part of me there's a lot of me that feels for Bart, because as I've said over and over, Bart does these horrendous things. I do believe that they come from a place that he thinks is good.
Yeah, I agree.
So I always feel for him.
Except for with Chuck. He's purposely trying to be mean to Chuck.
But when it comes to Chuck, he just fucking stomps him into the ground.
I guess it's just a long history of Chuck being a fucking shithead.
Yeah, he does fuck up a lot. And you got to also figure, like, how many times has he had to get Chuck out of, how much money has it cost being Chuck Bass's dad?
How many libraries has he donated?
Yeah, exactly. How many libraries has he donated, and how many, and like, how many, things has he had to sweep under rugs? Yeah. Like, how many women has he had? How many women's mothers has he had to pay off?
Jenny shows up to deliver the dress for Penelope. The mean girls are plotting revenge on Vanessa and convince Jenny to help.
Oh, little Jay. I mean, and it's such a Jenny thing. Like, Jenny is hot-tempered and vindictive. Yeah. You and I have often said Jenny is one of our favorite characters. Jenny's your favorite character. Jenny's in my top 3. But her biggest flaw is that she is angry and vindictive. She will turn and she will burn the place down when she's mad. And she's mad.
And yeah, we'll get more into when we get there, but I think the whole thing was overblown myself. But yeah, we'll get to that. Snowflake or snowfake, either way, it's going to be a ball. Blair and Serena are prepping for the ball and discussing seeing your ex with someone new. Serena informs Blair that she hasn't slept with Aaron yet.
Blair is fucking amazing in this. Your lame outer borough double date. And the other one was... Dan is going
to take a ride on the Lexa coaster.
Yeah. Yeah, guys really hate being surprised by sex. I thought she was fantastic. I loved her in this scene. And I felt like Blair didn't get to really shine a lot in this episode because her plot was so tied to, it was the Chuck plot. And that Chuck plot really...
It was the C plot.
Yeah, and it was very minimal throughout the whole thing. I like that she got this really fun. They always have such fun.
And they were actually talking about that on the forums about how the Chuck and Blair plot was minimum, and they actually were speculating that was because after an early episode, they kind of went in and like there was a bunch of press about Chuck and Blair. And like they got really popular, real fast, like in season 2. But then they kind of so they're speculating they're kind of backing off so like they don't just dominate the whole show.
Yeah, that tracks.
Jenny shows up at the gallery waving the white flag to Vanessa. Jenny offers Iz's dress as an olive branch with a claim that she stayed up all night making it for Vanessa.
Vanessa. You just got a dress, and you're going to try it on. Are you trying it on in a dark room? Like, where are you trying on this dress that there is no lighting at all? Because Iz was in her bedroom under a regular light.
But it's only when there's backlighting, because they mentioned that at the end.
Yeah, I just don't see how you don't notice at all.
And again, I would wonder what this plot would look like if they did it on Max.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't sell for me because you didn't really see anything.
Yeah, it wasn't that scandalous.
Yeah,
like it wasn't,
well, especially like today's standards. That's kind of trendy.
Yeah. What she was wearing would be
trendy today.
Yeah, people would wear that to the Oscars.
Yeah. Blair and Dorota are trying to find Chuck the perfect date. Blair slut shames poor Kristen Curran. Dorota quickly realizes that the girl Blair is looking for is just a copy of Blair, but Dorota knows there's only one Blair Waldorf.
Poor Dorota. She's just sitting there with her laptop, poring over all of these people, doing the matchmaking for Blair.
And worrying what else she might have to polish of Chuck.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking gross.
Yeah.
So, human trafficking, possibly sex trafficking, Dorota.
Yeah. Yeah, like Blair is like, yeah, if you're lucky, that's all. Like, Blair's the one recognizing, like, yeah, this might be a bet that I'm not only...
Blair has really shown us some growth as without prompting, he calls Serena to check in with her regarding him bringing Lexi to their school dance. Serena does what she thinks is a mature thing to do, and Dan just plays along.
Good on Dan for doing this. And
not right in front of Lexi, like waiting a little while and give her a call. This is cool with you.
Yeah. Just you and me talking.
Good move.
Yeah. I feel like Dan was really grown up most of this episode.
This is a great episode for both the Humphreys, I thought. Humphrey men.
Yeah, you're right. It was good for both of them.
In the next scene, we see Serena's insecurities play out in real time as she lets Aaron know she picked up 2 all-night passes to Pound Town.
And he's so this is where it's so gross that he's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And it's just like, God, you fucking...
Well played, sleazeball.
Yeah.
Well played.
Slow game worked for you, sleazeball.
Yeah, I'm totally positive that he has the pickup artist on his nightstand.
Yeah. only it's the Barney from How I Met Your Mother version.
Jenny is helping Vanessa get dressed, and it looks like they both want to confess, but neither is able to get their words out before Nate calls Vanessa.
Yeah, it's funny that
more good acting, like, because you can see like they both kind of wanted to say what they did, but neither could really get it out.
Yeah, and it's funny because had Vanessa actually gotten it out, then what? Then Jenny would have been like, "The fuck." And she would have been all the more resolved to go through with it. Jenny never learned. Did Jenny? Yeah, she did tell her. Yeah, she does.
Nate told her.
That's right, yeah.
Lily is calling Blair's office, and Bart's secretary spills the beans about Bart meeting with Andrew Tyler. We're secretary this episode. There's some really bad secretaries in the show.
I mean, I was going to say, this series, the secretaries are not going to...
Yeah, they just drop all the knowledge.
Yeah, yeah.
Lily sweeps around and finds out more evidence against Bart and decides to go to the ball on her own.
Imagine if this was like a White House drama and they're like, oh, the president, he's in the war room right now discussing.
Hey there, scandal-loving listeners. Did you ever wonder if there was a way you could support your favorite Gossip Girl podcast? Well, now there is. Just visit patreon.com/nonjudgingbreakfastpod. There are 4 tiers to choose from. Come claim your spot at the non-judging breakfast table by visiting patreon.com/nonjudgingbreakfastpod.
We go into Act 3. We get a needle drop as the third act begins with the ball in full swing. Penelope and the Mean Girls are reviewing the plan to humiliate Vanessa.
Yeah, this is where we learn that Hazel is now dating the Spotlight guy for access to a spotlight.
I've noticed the show, like every couple episodes, they feature a band, because there's like 3 songs by this band, the Asteroid Galaxy Tour.
Okay.
And this was one of them. The sun ain't shining no more. Blair and Chuck flirt as they introduce each other to their respective doppelgangers. However, Blair pulls Chuck aside and leaves their twins to their own devices.
Yeah, the Timu, Chuck, and Blair come in.
And also for that last scene, we got another stunt cast together. It wasn't really as obvious this time, but it was Natasha Lukin, who's a multiple Olympic champion gymnast.
Oh, no kidding. Was that Blair? Was that the...
Yeah, she was like a student at the dance.
Oh, that's crazy.
She's just yeah,
famous enough to make it onto the background.
She knew someone that could get her on.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, Dan is with Lexi and Serena with Aaron as they all twirl around on the dance floor. Lexi lets slip that Serena and Aaron are going to sleep together for the first time. Dan tries to play it cool. It was also at this point I started to wonder, how old is Lexi?
Yeah, well, Lexi is Aaron's ex.
Presumably, it's around the same age. So, let us not be called out for the double standard.
No, yeah, like is Lexi also a predator here? Yeah. Like I actually did have that thought.
Like forces her into a date at the school dance where her plan is to fuck this teenager. And now, once again, through that same lens, why would she tell Dan? But here it is. Like, it is. Aren't they working together?
Yeah. It's like, hey, I want to try to hit this socialite. You mind hitting her boyfriend?
Her ex to make her jealous?
Yeah, to make her jealous? Like, yeah, sure. But only if it's the first date.
Yeah.
But and that just makes it all come because I was like, why would you tell this guy? But yeah, to let him know, like, yeah, it's safe. You've got the green light. Now you can also sleep with an older person.
Blair and Chuck bicker for a bit, but the bet is still on.
Yeah.
Pretty nothing scene.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sparks flying.
Yeah. I mean, Blair and Chuck are great in every scene they do.
But nothing really
even when nothing goes forward.
Rufus and Lily spot each other across the room and are drawn to each other like a pair of opposed magnets. Lily tells Rufus she is leaving Bart and she doesn't expect anything except maybe a dance, which of course Rufus grants her.
She was fucking spectacular in this scene. I loved Kelly Rutherford. The way her facial expressions, the way she approaches Rufus. I did have the note of, was this her shortest marriage? Which I don't think it was. I got the impression that there may have been one that was shorter.
One of the Klauses.
One of the Klauses, I think, was shorter.
So normally I don't watch the closed captioning, but I had it on for this episode because I tried to catch the line from earlier that I couldn't hear what they were saying. So they also like play the lyrics of the songs in the closed captions. While in the middle of the talking, it pops up, I kissed you. I was like, wait, when did Lily kiss? And then that's the music.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And then, of course, when they danced, so this was the song was called Breakdown by the band Deerheart. And when they were dancing, the lyrics were, well, I like you. You like me. Seems that we fit so perfectly. You make me feel worthy, and I've let you take care of me.
Yeah.
Very good needle drop there.
And honestly, when I was watching that, because I always watch the captions on. I watch everything with the captions on. And I noticed the lyrics playing out the way that the scene did. And it was very sweet. And it was very... And like I said, the look on her face, how nervous she was to approach Rufus, her gestures, her eye contact, and then breaking it, everything in that scene. And I just was like, I was like, I'll dance with you, Lily. Like, okay.
Dan and Serena catch each other watching Aaron and Lexi dance with each other and decide to share a dance of their own. Dan and Serena have a flippant conversation about them both sleeping with their respective dates for the first time. Serena walks off and Dan goes with Lexi to grab drinks.
I am going to miss her so much when she's gone. I loved her reaction. I loved that.
Oh, yeah, because, she reacts to her Lexi telling Dan.
Yeah.
And then Dan's like, yeah, sex is beautiful, especially when you haven't had it for a while.
Which that was so, like, it was so good. But it was
such a teenage guy thing to say.
Yeah, but it was also...
I could totally see myself saying that.
Yeah, 100%. But it was also, awkward Dan rambling once this was playing out. And, because it was that rambling, awkward Dan that we get sometimes. Yeah. And it was funny, and you could tell that he was joking, but also
it was very flippant.
Yeah, it was very flippant, and probably not good timing.
Yeah.
But I think that it really, but it also sets up a great moment later.
Vanessa tells Jenny that she is going to break up with Nate. Vanessa walks off to do just that. Jenny goes to try to cover up Vanessa, but too late as the Mean Girls spring to their trap to catch Vanessa in the spotlight. Nate sees that Jenny was involved in the takedown and looks disgusted.
So I really liked the scene leading up to this, and this scene, I thought Jessica was really good.
Yeah, where she confessed to Nate.
Yeah. I really liked her in this a lot. I thought that the reveal, like you were alluding to this earlier, the reveal did not really reveal much. And it's not like I'm sitting here saying like, oh, show me more. I'm just saying, like, for it to be the scandal that they're portraying, it didn't seem...
People were laughing, but maybe they could have had someone say, like, oh, look at her granny panties.
Yeah, like, there could have been anything to really make it
something
embarrassing.
But, like, you look great, Jessica.
Yeah.
And all you can really see was her legs and a little bit of her panty line.
Yeah, and she looked great. The other side of that same, the despite the reveal, and of course I feel like a lot of that it was CW in 2008. Oh, like they didn't have today's standards.
Again, what would have been on Max? Would like you see like everything?
well, you probably would have seen
At least her nipples,
like her underwear. Yeah, you would have seen a lot more. Yeah, she probably wouldn't have had a bra on.
Yeah,
and you probably would have seen a lot more. Like if it was like on Max or something like that.
And they probably would have shown from the back with a thong.
Yeah. Like it probably would have been like really like revealing. The flip side of this, I thought a lot of the characters, our main characters' reactions were really good. Nate's reaction of seeing it unfold and then looking at
they definitely, the writing and the acting sold it as being humiliating.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't really get it personally.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm just gonna go with what the show is telling me.
That's exactly where I landed with it. That like, okay, I'm going to accept that Jenny is a good designer, Dan is a good writer, and Vanessa is embarrassed right now.
Yeah, this is the most horrible prank ever.
Yeah, that this is a terrible thing that Jenny has just done. But I did think the acting and directing really and writing saved a lot of it, save for the actual review.
Poor Vanessa. Even Cinderella was given the courtesy of a stealth getaway. Then again, what's a trio of ugly stepsisters compared to Jenny Humphrey? Looks like it might turn out to be an unhappily ever after for everyone. Go into the epilogue. Nate confronts Jenny about the scheme to mess with Vanessa, who reveals the stolen letter and really lays into Jenny.
Nate not tolerating bullying. Like I give him that. I thought he was a little hard.
The stolen letter just seems so much worse to me.
Me too. I really thought that too. I thought the stolen letter was worse. I also kept in the back of my head that Chase wanted this. That Chase Crawford wasn't comfortable. We had talked before about Chase Crawford wasn't comfortable with the relationship with the 14-year-old. Yeah, 14-year-old at this point. And I could see him being like, we need to work this for that to be the relationship and not the Jenny thing. So with that in mind, I get it. But also I do think that stealing the letter is so much worse. But it's also so Nate to be like, oh, that's the one I want now.
and this is probably giving Nate too much credit, but also Vanessa's just easier because he doesn't have to deal with the Dan situation. Like he could still be friends with Dan if he's dating Vanessa.
Yeah. There's that too. Jenny was a more complicated relationship.
Chuck and Blair find their dates making out with each other. Blair is disgusted that even their doppelgangers can work it out, but her and Chuck can't.
My note here is obviously. Like, obviously, these two are going to end up together.
They left them alone together.
The second they left them alone, it's like, oh, yeah, they're going to make out.
Yeah, this episode is filled with tropes.
Yeah. I mean, Gossip Girl is a tropey show. It throws them in. It often will try to play with the tropes or flip the tropes.
But I think like the weaker episodes are the ones where they just rely on the tropes.
Where they rely on it, yeah.
That's why I like the date episode from season 1.
Yeah, that I liked and you hated.
Lily is telling Rufus that she doesn't want to hurt Bart, but that she has to end it. Rufus admits to regretting letting her go on the wedding day. Chuck spots Rufus and Lily sitting together.
When she's like, I've always tried to do the right thing. The patience in Rufus's behind his eyes. I'm like, oh, really?
He's trying not to laugh.
Yeah, you've always tried to do the right thing. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Oh, when you left me for money, that was the right thing, right?
Yeah, you can see why Lily's been married as many times.
Yeah.
Bart is riding in a limo with Andrew Tyler, who has found out Lily's secret. Before we can get the reveal, Chuck calls Bart and tells him about Lily and Rufus.
Yeah, and this is where we realize that he really did fire the guy. So it's like, oh, okay, he did fire him, but this guy clearly has something he's going to tell him.
Chuck finds Lily and lets her know that Bart is on his way. I like this scene.
I thought Chuck was super mature here. And I really liked Chuck was not malicious or vindictive. And Chuck really seemed to have I get it. Like, yeah, like Because Chuck kind of knows his role in this thing at this point, you know? So I really felt like he was very mature here and very accepting of the situation. And he was right. You owe him a conversation. You know, you always, you know.
But I like the chemistry between Ed and Kelly.
Between Charles and
Lily
and Lily.
Lillian
and Charles.
Lillian Rhodes Vanderwoods and Bass.
Imagine if she just tacked on
That name each time.
the new name instead of getting rid of the old one.
Yeah. Nate catches up with Vanessa and tells her he still wants to be with her.
So this is where we freaked out. Because Vanessa apparently, I'm pretty sure it was tears, but it looks like she has a big snot running down her face. And he moves in and kisses her. And Robin's like, and he's like, you better not kiss her with that snot on her face. And then he does. And the two of us were like, ah! That was the moment that we were both like, ew, snot face. You're so sweet for kissing her with that snot face, Nate.
Yummy. Jenny watches as Nate and Vanessa get into a cab together. Then Penelope and her posse roll up and threaten Jenny. But little Jay doesn't fuck around, and these bitches are about to find out.
I loved Jenny here. I loved her growth. I loved how she stood up for Vanessa.
Yeah.
And for a second, when she's like, your little friend, I thought she was going to be like, she's not my fucking friend. Like, but she didn't. She was like, she's more of a person than you'll ever be. And it sounds like Jenny might be re-enrolling in Constance.
I guess so.
Or at least wants to be around them more.
Maybe she can hang out with Aaron, wait for them to get out of school. Hang out 100 feet away from the school.
Hang out 100 feet away from the school.
Waiting for it to
That's a really bad idea for Serena because you don't want him then going for the 14-year-old. Hey, you like licorice? Hands are a little licorice ring.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron, are you still on this show?
Maybe he's here to stay. I mean, he is Cyrus's, I guess he's like Blair's stepbrother now.
Give me more Cyrus. No, do you know what? Not enough.
Yeah, there's
not enough Cyrus.
Too much Aaron, not enough Cyrus.
Too much Aaron, not enough Cyrus.
But I mean, he is going to be Blair's stepbrother, so is he here to stay?
Oh, God, I hope not. He can, there's a whole world he can travel to.
He was a major character in the books.
Oh, God.
He was Blair's stepbrother in the books, yeah.
Was he 40 in the books? Was he in his mid-30s in the books?
I actually never got to because he shows up in like the second book, I think.
Okay.
And I only read the first one because it was pretty bad.
Yeah. How long are they?
You can read it in a day.
That's kind of what I would figure.
Yeah. Chuck asks Blair to dance. Blair acts tough, but lets him out with a little smile when Chuck isn't looking. Yeah, Layton's acting like just the slightest bit of a smile.
Yeah, they're cute. They were very cute. And yeah, I really liked it.
Lily gets a call from a restricted number and a disturbed look on her face. We get to reveal obviously a couple scenes later, but yeah.
Yeah,
she gets the news and borrows an accident, obviously. Yeah. Dan is trying to avoid being alone with Lexi when Serena rushes up to ask to speak with Dan alone for a second. Serena apologizes for before, but Dan lets her know it's unnecessary. However, they don't get a chance to rejoin their dates because Lily rushes up looking for Chuck to let him know that Bart has been in an accident.
Yeah, I really liked the chemistry with Dan and Serena. I thought they were very sweet. Dan doesn't really want to bang Lexi. Like, he does. Sex is meaningful to Dan. Yeah. It always has been.
Yeah.
And like, so I really liked that.
And also, I guess we get to reveal that even though he was hooking up with a bunch of girls, he actually didn't sleep with anyone.
Yeah. And we also get the reveal that they only slept together once, which I got the impression it was more than that. He said that was the best night of my life, unless he's just referring to the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any confirmation either way on that.
Yeah. I really liked how that played out. And then I have a big wah. And then upon second watching, we realized that Bart Bass cock blocked everybody. He cock blocked everybody on this show. Dan and Serena, nope, because or Aaron and Serena, nope, because of that. Dan was already iffy, so now he's going to be there with Rufus and them. He cockblocked Rufus and Lily. He cockblocked Blair and Chuck. He just blanket cockblock. Okay, Vanessa and Nate are the ones that he did not, but
they're going to just go off a bang.
Yeah, they're just.
But that is the episode, and so it's pretty obvious, I guess, at this point that Bart's dead.
Yeah.
So tragedy can either bring relationships closer or it can push them apart.
Yeah.
Who's going to get closer and who's going to get pushed apart?
I think it'll be weird for Dan and Serena and Rufus and Lily to get closer at the same time, but I feel like it's lining that up, whereas it'll push Chuck and Blair away.
Right when it seemed like they were finally going to figure out their shit.
Yeah. It seemed like that. It looks like that's going to get pushed away. And Blair is going to want to be there for Chuck, and Chuck is not going to want anyone to be there for him. I can see Chuck becoming... I don't see Chuck becoming inconsolable. I see Chuck becoming... For one, Chuck just became a multi-billionaire. I can see this... Yeah, the guy he's always tried to impress, and the last words he said to him was that he was disappointment. I feel for Chuck already on this. I think that Lily and Rufus will come together out of this, because I feel like Lily's going to need someone there. I feel like it's going to put a pin in their romantic relationship, but I feel like this is where Rufus is going to be there for Lily, because she has no one else.
What about Aaron and Serena?
I hope this is done. I hope this is what kills it. I hope that this is what makes Aaron be like, hey, we were supposed to bang tonight. And she'll be like, my stepdad just died. And that'll lead to a breakup. It's more wishful thinking than anything else. It's just as likely that she'll be like, I'm so sad my stepdad just died. Bang me.
I mean, stepdad, she clearly didn't care much of that.
She didn't care much about the stepdad, but that kind of thing is jarring anyway. Like your mom is now going through some shit. Yeah. So it still fucks with your head.
I was being flippant like Dan. So let's go ahead and get into some segments. This week in fandom, we hopped into the Wayback Machine and went to the 2008 Television Without Pity forums.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine. We're traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman. Hello. Good boy.
They're very talkative. One person has said, Josh Schwartz's balls are the best. Phrasing.
Yeah.
Aaron and Serena need to be over.
Yep.
And everyone was like disagreeing with Blair calling him hot.
Yeah. She did. Blair, I actually didn't write it down, so I didn't remember to talk about it, but had a 180 almost with Aaron this week, that she was much more like, well, yeah, like you are, you know what I mean? Like she didn't like Aaron previously.
Well, I think the main thing that she didn't like was the whole polyamorous thing, because she knew that wouldn't work for Serena. She knew it wouldn't work for her.
I also think that Blair will never like anyone Serena's with.
True. And then they were confused on why Vanessa was so embarrassed when nothing was really shown. So, yeah, we talked about that a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also confused at why Nate forgave V but not Jenny. They both felt bad for what they did.
Yeah. He was a little harsh on Jenny. And like I said, I think that was a personal Chase Crawford thing more than a writing thing.
Fans are over Rufus and Lily. They don't hate Bart. Yeah, we've kind of been saying the same thing. Bart's not that bad except for Chuck. With Chuck. Yeah,
Bart's terrible with Chuck. And Bart does terrible things, but doesn't recognize they're terrible. Bart loves in the wrong way.
No one cares about Dan and Serena. Yeah.
I care.
I mean, it's clearly the signs are pointing to them getting back together.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one wants that.
I want that. More than anything, I just don't want Aaron.
Fair.
Aaron and Vanessa. Get them both in Brooklyn.
Yeah, 'cause we'll still see about Brooklyn. Have them move to Queens or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Get offered something in Paris.
No one they really like Jenny standing up to the Mean Girls, and at the end of the episode, big episode for Jenny in general.
Yeah, Jenny was great. Jenny's always great. It also occurred to me that they may not survive next summer when Aaron goes off to work at the summer camp again and starts meeting some
fresh 12-year-olds.
potentials. That's my headcanon now, is that he still works at that summer camp and has licorice rings. And then you'll be 18 one day. God, he's disgusting.
Serena's only 17.
Yeah.
You didn't wait that long.
Yep. You'll be legal one day. No. I know I know the loopholes in the laws.
As long as we're not in California.
That's a red flag. If they know how old the age of consent is, if they bring it up in a conversation, that's a red flag.
Nate is boring at best, a hypocritical douche at worst.
I get it. I feel like Nate was the golden retriever going for the shiny thing that was in front of him. And I'm not mad at Nate. I'm a Nate stan. Yes, he's hypocritical, but they all are at one point or another.
And there's more talk of Ed slumming it by being on Gossip Girl. He's just such a great actor.
Really? Yeah. He's such a great actor. Yell. Say something at normal volume and without me knowing where you're from. Complete a sentence at this vocal range.
I actually meant to bring this up at the top of the episode. This week on the Gossip Girl subreddit, there actually was a big post about Ed Westwick and how we shouldn't celebrate his wedding because,
Yeah, I actually saw that.
You didn't see that?
Yeah, I saw. I don't ever read anything in the Reddit, in the Gossip Girl Reddit, but I'll get notifications sometimes, and that one popped up, and it was that like Ed Westwick very well.
He was accused by 4 women.
Mm-hmm.
One was, I think, unequivocally proven as making it up.
Yeah,
and then I think he possibly has alibis for 1 or 2 others. I haven't looked into all the details, so but
yeah.
It's definitely not a good look.
Yeah, and where, there's often the where there's smoke, there's fire thing, and I don't know one way or another, but
it's not a good look.
But it's not a good look. It's not a good look, and we will always recognize that here on the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod.
So let's go ahead and get into some episode grades. I don't know. It was well directed, and there was some good acting. Kelly, Taylor, Jessica, they all had some very good acting moments. But yeah, the writing was kind of weak in this episode, relying a little too much on the tropes, as I mentioned. And so, yeah, I gave it a B-.
That's fair. I actually went B+. I actually broke it down by storyline when I was thinking it through. The Jenny, Nate, Vanessa storyline, although it didn't really work out, despite its flaws, I liked the storyline. The B storyline with Dan and Serena was dumb and gross. Like, that one I didn't really care for. But the other two, like the chair thing was predictable, but the Lily thing was awesome. Like, I thought that Lily and Rufus were fantastic in this. I gave the episode a B+ overall.
Okay.
I bumped it a little bit because I think mostly because of the Lily stuff.
Fair. Let's go ahead and move it to Stockwatch. Going up, I had Rufus because he was understanding, patient, everything you could have asked him to be in this episode. He didn't interact with Jenny at all.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Blair and Chuck, because even though I think it's gonna crash and burn in the next episode, they seem to finally kind of figure their shit out here.
Yeah. They ended on a plus note.
Yeah. And I gave Dan and Serena both stack up because they were, again, they were good exes again, and They had that one flipping conversation, but then they immediately apologized to each other.
Yeah.
Who do you have going up?
All of the same that you had. Rufus, Dan, Serena, Chuck, Blair. I also had Nate and Vanessa going up for them getting together. Vanessa was humiliated, but she got Nate in the end, which Nate is quite a prize. All the minions won. I also had Lily going up for leaving Bart, and being ready to go back out on her own. And that is who I had going up. Chuck and Blair, I was on the fence for whether or not they actually went up, but I was like, it's Christmas. Though everybody on the brink goes up.
So for me, the one that was on the fence for me was Vanessa. Because like you said, she got Nate in the end. But I just got to take the show, based on my voting, she would have been going up. Because the show gave so much weight to that scene, I got to give her a neutral.
That's fair. I see the neutral.
Going down, Jenny, because obviously she lost this episode. Even though we love her, she has some great scenes. Aaron, because he continues to be a fucking predator.
Yeah, I actually forgot.
And I had Lily going down because she's just being a shitty wife as usual. Even though the scenes are great, she was being a shitty wife.
Yeah, I mean,
he's putting off the conversation, and before having the conversation with Bart, immediately going back to Rufus.
Yeah. You gotta do the conversation with Bart first, then go to Rufus. It's fair. She was angry. It's fair. I get it.
And I also gave Nate
a down.
Yeah, because he was hypocritical about the whole I don't get in between friends. And he was hypocritical between forgiving Vanessa and not Jenny, even though they both were clearly felt bad for what they did.
Yeah. That's fair.
Who do you have going down?
Bart.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that's definitely fair.
I have Bart. I have Jenny. I'm going to add Aaron.
Personally, I don't like to kick a man while he's down.
6 feet down.
Who's after Bart?
After Bart, I had Jenny.
Yeah.
I'm going to add in Aaron. And then the other one I have is the minions.
Fair.
Each of them goes down for...
Do you want to name them individually or just as a group?
Well, Penelope, Hazel, and Iz. Yeah, I'll give each of them a down. And yeah.
Let's go ahead and move into best outfit.
But here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
For me, it was Blair's red and black jabot dress. It was by Alice and Olivia, and she had the yellow horseshoe belt.
She looked like Shazam. When I saw that, I was like, why is Blair dressed like Shazam? That was my first instinct. But it popped. It was a really cool outfit. But that was just, she looked like a superhero.
Yeah.
At the same time. I had Chuck's tux, the sequence tux. I thought that was dope.
Well, you got anything to plug this week?
I don't, other than my TikTok, Instagram, and that stuff. Steve.Marchon, Marchion. Feel free to follow me and check that stuff out. And yeah, I don't really have much else to plug.
I'm going to plug Rings of Power Season 2. I know the first season got a lot of shit, and it definitely has problems, and Season 2 still has problems, and it's basically fan fiction. But I'm enjoying it. If you want to follow the podcast, get us on all the socials. We're at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and you can also find us on Facebook by searching for the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. And if you want to find us on Discord or Reddit, you can go to our website, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com.
And if you'd like to send us an email, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can reach us at nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com. We would also love it if while you're listening, if you stop for a second and give us a review, give us a like, a review, subscribe, follow, and also leave comments. That really helps with our visibility on Apple Music. And more than anything, tell a friend that you're listening to the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. Get that friend that you love talking Gossip Girl with and get them listening too. Also, don't forget that you can now watch Gossip Girl for free on Tubi. So, Jill, if you download the app Tubi to your Amazon Smart TV, I'm not trying to advertise for Amazon. I'm just trying to speak directly to my mother-in-law here. You can watch Gossip Girl and watch along with us.
And we will be back next week to talk about Season 2, Episode 13. Oh, brother, where Bart thou?
I only saw the oh, brother. I didn't read the whole thing. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. The Max episode description reads, a sudden and tragic event impacts the lives of everyone.
Yeah, that title is so good, too. Oh, brother, where art thou? That was based, was that...
The Odyssey?
The Odyssey, right? Yeah, I was trying to remember if it was the Iliad or the Odyssey. But yeah, with the Cyclops, yeah.
And the sirens.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, know you love us.
XOXO.
Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there.